Hey everyone, welcome back to another edition of the Dental Trade Alliance podcast. My name is Kevin Henry. I'm honored to not only be the host of the DTA podcast, but also the editor-in-chief for drbicuspid.com. Really appreciate you joining us for this episode. We are going to be talking about the DTA and emerging leaders. And with that in mind today, we have two guests on today. First of all, I'd like to say hello to Chane Moline. Chane, how are you?
Hey, Kevin, how you doing today?
Doing great. Would you mind just kind of introducing yourself to our audience?
So thank you for the opportunity today. I really appreciate it. My name is Chane Moline, and I am the Director of Sales for Belmont Business Media. We publish Decisions in Dentistry, as well as Dimensions of Dental Hygiene. And my dental career started in 2011 when I started working for what is now Envista. I spent the first 9 years of my dental career with Envista, that manufacturer. It was a great experience, and I joined Belmont Business Media in 2019.
Great. Glad to have you on today, and also glad to have from the Dental Trade Alliance, Sarah Miller. Hey, Sarah, how are you?
Hey, Kevin, as always, it's good to see you again.
Same,
And
absolutely. You're becoming a regular on here, so good to see you. So,
Yes.
absolutely. Would you mind just telling our audience a little bit about you before we dive in?
Yeah, sure. So I'm the executive director for the DTA Foundation, which is the charitable arm for the Dental Trade Alliance. And also as part of DTA, I am helping with the Emerging Leaders Committee. And so it's a committee for emerging and recently emerged leaders within the dental trade space.
So, Chane, I've got a question for you. Kind of give me a definition of what an emerging leader is and who belongs to this group, and how do you all find folks to come into this group?
So, I'm very happy to be the committee chair for the Emerging Leaders Committee. I'm very excited. I've been a part of the DTA since 2019 when I joined Belmont. It's a wonderful organization. I always look forward to the annual meeting. There's great content, great networking opportunities, and it's across all of the industry. So when we were talking about bringing back the Emerging Leaders Committee, I was very excited. So we're looking for people who are trying to get into leadership roles and trying to advance their career in more of a leadership role. So really our mission and our goal is providing experiences and opportunities to grow as a leader within your organization. The DTA can provide some of those opportunities, and then also to bring people along who have development opportunities that they want to get into more of a leadership role. So bringing people along into a leadership role to get them that opportunity, but also provide future professional development for currently established leaders.
And Chane, let me ask you one follow-up question on that. Is it something that DTA searches out who might be an emerging leader, or is it somebody that you're looking for somebody to come forth and say, I want to be a part of this group?
We're leaning on the DTA membership, the people who are part of the DTA, and also to identify people within the organization. So maybe the VP of sales has someone that is on a fast track to be the next regional manager or something along those lines to recommend this person for that role. Additionally, the current members of the Emerging Leader Committee have put together kind of a short list of recommendations to join the committee. I think we got a pretty well balanced committee right now, but we're looking to add a few members, and part of it is having representation across the industry. So media, publication, manufacturing, distribution, finance, and technology is kind of the pillars we're looking for representation. So
and Sarah, I know one of the things that is always great is that there's get-togethers for the emerging leaders, and that includes at the upcoming annual meeting. They'll be happening in November in Napa, California. Can you kind of give me a little preview of what that's going to be like and what some folks can look forward to there?
Yeah, and I think it's important to note that the committee and members of the committee, they're the ones who really put these together. They help with thinking through, say, like the questions for the panel we hosted at CDA earlier this year, or recommendations on themes for the webinar we hosted with Paige Mead over the summer. And so it was very important, I think, for those at the annual meeting to have a chance to learn from the leaders who attend the meeting. And, it's such an intimate setting. And it's one of the very few places where industry can really get that face-to-face time with each other. And so having an opportunity for emerging and recently emerged leaders to learn from these established leaders and industry giants that will be there in Napa with us. And so, first off, encourage anyone who is attending that might have an emerging or recently emerged leader in their company to, if they aren't registered for the annual meeting, register them and then send them our way to attend this event where it's going to be speed mentoring. So speed networking, which kind of stems from speed dating. So we're going to have some mentors in the room that then the committee members and other emerging leaders will have a chance to have a few minutes each with the mentors in the room. And the theme for that will be, how do we as recently, emerged and emerging leaders, how can we best take advantage of a setting like this annual meeting throughout the rest of the week to maximize our own professional development and maximize what we can do for our companies? And so very much looking forward to that. And I think we're gonna have a really great lineup of leaders there to help us. And then, as Shane said, mentor the mentors. It's a phenomenal thing to have the chance to have almost, 3 tiers of leadership in the room, and you always want to pull people up as you're climbing. So it'll be a good
Absolutely.
time.
And Shane, I think one thing that's maybe a misnomer out there is that this next generation that's coming into dentistry doesn't want the mentorship or doesn't need the mentorship. And it really sounds like that you all are making sure that whatever stigma that might be attached to that is being just shattered through this work.
Yeah, I mean, we would love to shatter that rumor, because I don't get that feeling. I've always done a great job of finding mentors in my career, and I've also found it really established leaders like to lend a helping hand when possible. I think my recommendation for anyone trying to find mentors is reach out, make sure people know that you want to open yourself up to opportunities to grow. And I think those opportunities will happen for you. So mentorship, being able to mentor someone and be able to be mentored is what this is all about in reality. So I hope people will kind of look at this committee and take part, and hopefully we can really help people provide leadership opportunities that help advance their career.
And Shane, while I got you on the hot spot, let me ask you one more question, because I'd love to know what one of the biggest takeaways that you've had being involved in this committee for quite some time. What's one of the biggest takeaways that you've had being a part of the committee and kind of hearing the conversations during these meetings, whether they're in person or virtual?
From my perspective, being part of the Emerging Leaders Committee and the DTA as a whole is being able to have conversations with, like Sarah said, 3 tiers of established dental professionals that have been in the industry forever. So having that opportunity to ask someone who's been in the industry 30 years what they think about what's going on currently, what do they expect next year, how's everything going, and then kind of shrink it down to the Emerging Leaders Committee, having conversations with Zach, with Pulp Dent, and understand what they're doing well and what you can improve on. Dialogue and a communication stream that helps you understand your market and maybe might help you pivot or adjust to help advance your specific career or help your company in the industry. That ultimately is going to help the patients in the industry as a whole. I think that is a huge benefit that the DTA does provide, and we're hoping to continue that with the Emerging Leaders Committee.
So Sarah, I've got to ask, if somebody wants to get involved, what does the DTA suggest as the next step?
I think reach out to myself or reach out to Shane. We are both very friendly people. And so feel free to reach out to us, and we'd love to have a conversation and talk more about this. And even if you don't identify as an emerging or recently emerged leader, still reach out to us with any thoughts, with any recommendations. One kind of unique thing we've heard over the few years is the idea of reverse mentoring. So recognizing that maybe, age doesn't have to be the determining factor. Maybe there's a way that two people can come together and mentor in certain areas of expertise or skills, and really just be true teammates and true partners in the industry. And so, if you have an idea like that, if you want to join the committee, if you want to, maybe you identify as a mentor and want to see how you can get involved and help, the future leaders of the industry, then yeah, reach out to us. We're more than happy to chat and talk more.
It's awesome. One of the themes that I've found by doing these podcasts recently for the Dental Trade Alliance is that there's so many layers to the DTA that I think sometimes members don't even know all the things that they can take advantage of to really grow their careers. And I think this is a perfect example of that. So, Shane, Sarah, thank you both so much for your time today. I really do appreciate it. And I'm looking forward to seeing what comes out of the Emerging Leader event in Napa.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Kevin.
And thanks to all of you for being a part of this Dental Trade Alliance podcast. Hey, we want to make sure that you know everything that's going on with the Dental Trade Alliance. So we will put contact information for both Shane and Sarah in the show notes, as well as make sure that you have a link to the Dental Trade Alliance website, which, by the way, is dentaltradealliance.org. Till next time, it's Kevin Henry, the host of the Dental Trade Alliance podcast, signing off, wishing you nothing but success ahead.